a structure where I'm a carpenter by trade, and I've been in the industry for 15, 16 years, and I've worked for myself for the past 8 years or so. And slowly grown, and went from just myself and a helper to adding a second carpenter and a second helper to adding a couple more carpenters, another helper, and we've done 3 custom homes so far, but that's really where I want to be in the future. The rest of our revenue comes from, whole house renovations, larger additions. Once in a while, I try and, I've been steering clear of smaller projects just because we don't have the time and manpower for them, but also they're usually not worth it for us. But, you know,
So
whatever my architects feed me pretty much.
you'd like to attract more quality projects than is kind of
Correct.
the way you're looking.
Yeah. And I don't know, I know the market exists in my area, and the leads I get through bidding through my architects have been directing me in sort of a better direction, but I'm trying to figure out a way to break into the higher end market in my area. And just word of mouth and some social media posts, advertising through Facebook and Instagram is not cutting it right now.
So you are doing some paid advertising on Meta?
Not consistently, but as content is another sort of bottleneck for me, where like I'm wearing all the hats, and my wife always tells me I'm horrible at taking photos and videos, but I got a drone, and I'm trying to take aerial shots of properties as we're building them, and then a before and after. I've been trying to get basically as the content comes, and I think it's polished enough and good enough to run it as an ad, I will. But it's really, I'm not doing it week after week after week. It's just sort of, every few months, I'll run it, and I get some leads from that sometimes, but
it's not
Okay.
like a consistent lead flow type of thing.
correct. And also, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tech savvy somewhat, but I'm just a lowly carpenter trying to figure out. I didn't go to school for business. I have a pointless college degree, and I don't know anything about. I've just sort of been learning from Google and from other people that I've known, and older folks that have been in the business for a while. But yeah,
credit yourself, because you're definitely a smart guy. The reason why is because people 16. You told me that 16 years in the trades. 16 years ago, the only reason that there's a lot of people who thought of the idea, went to go start a business, and then they retreated back, or they really didn't have the push, power, confidence, or willpower to do everything it takes to train those people you trained and get people operating how you need them to operate so your business can succeed. So
I appreciate that.
From my perspective, just on the call anyways, because revenue's 1.2 million. Statistically, only 5.3% of companies will ever even reach over 1 million. So you already broke through what most people can't, and so that gives me the confidence anyways that you're willing to actually collaborate, right? You know what I mean? I don't know, that gives me confidence for sure.
Right. And then as a small business owner and someone who's supporting a family, and now I have 6 employees that I have to support also. Basically, it just from year over year, the amount of work that I am getting and booking out ahead of time, it gets higher and higher. And if I don't have that, I get, I start losing sleep because, how am I going to not only support myself and my family, but how am I going to support my employees and their families? And I just there's this next step that I don't know how to get to just with what I've been doing in order to create these systems to make it a sort of, no matter how hard I work, I feel like it's not it's still not self-sustaining. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
just step away and it would just function because I mean, there's no one. I have, I have carpenters that are, good at what they do, but they're not necessarily good at, they're maybe not great customer facing people, or they don't know my business in and out. They don't know the numbers. I couldn't send them on estimates. And then I have people that I've thought that maybe I could train to do that, but I still, at the end of the day, wouldn't trust them to do the estimating for me. And then I just, and I'm beginning to ramble, so sorry, but
Oh no.
that is kind of where my brain is right now. Is that I want to be able to create systems with someone, your guys' help, whoever, to sort of guide me in a direction where I can start making these changes.
100%. So, do you just so like a little more context? Sorry to jump
Yeah.
in, Nash. But do you have a CRM right now?
Not really. That's another, like, I feel like we're not, I feel like my numbers aren't right because, well, revenue is 1.2 mil. Like, I don't have a CRM because I don't, obviously, it would make things easier, but the value isn't there for me. Like, a lot of softwares I've looked at, like, the cost is just so high, and I already have my systems in place somewhat that I'm used to. So I just am kind of maybe afraid of new things, or afraid to take the jump. Where I don't want to. But yeah, to answer your question, no, not really.
Okay. Um, just to dig a little deeper, like, I'm confident that you run the operations and you got your people taken care of. The CRM is mainly like just so I'm clear, this is my version of a CRM. Hopefully, we might be on the same
Right.
page. Just to clarify, it's a place where people who inquire with you will live, and so a lot of the times the leads are going to your email, they're sitting in Meta Ads Manager. You get the lead, you phone it, they don't answer, and you never phone them back. Or, they're 20 pages back in your email, or you forgot about it because you were busy, you're solving something else, wasn't a priority. But the
Right.
only way to make the meta ads work is, yeah, obviously you need them set up correctly. But if to do remodels, custom homes, and remodeling. Custom homes are a longer sales cycle than remodeling, but remodeling
Yeah.
still is a decent sales cycle. Like it's still not like, hey, let me sign this $150,000 contract, on a whim.
Right.
Most time don't happen. So if you have a CRM realistically will cost you like $100 a month, just CRM on its own. Like it's called Go High Level. It'd be the one I suggest. But then when somebody comes in, you can have those emails sending automatically to those people. Because one thing that's pretty statistically true is that most homeowners, 99%, they don't even know how to build a house and they do not know how to remodel. And in fact, they are just so uneducated in terms of how the process actually works. And you probably know that even better than me. You know what I mean? Like you talk
Yeah.
to a homeowner, you're like, yeah, this is what I want to do. You're like, okay, that'll be 200 grand. They're like, obviously you don't want to charge,
Yeah. Yeah.
but some people, you know what I mean? And so we want to
Right.
make sure that we're following them up, and you don't have the time to do it all the time. Like I'm assuming. It's not like you're going to sit
Yeah.
for a few hours a day to do that. And so if you have those automations happening, then you can stay in front of them. So when they do make a decision, it's definitely you. Um, one last question, but my last question is: when you were running your ads, were you running ads of yourself in front of a project, or what did your ads look like?
No, I'm not ever in any of the content. It's always, if it's a video, it's walkthroughs and or showcasing specific aspects of a project that I think would be interesting or good, nice to look at, or whatever it is. And then pictures are obviously just, we try and take the nicest photos possible and do usually before and afters, but sometimes we'll do you know during or progress shots, or if there's a cool particular bit of
Okay.
structural framing or something that I think people would find interesting when I post that. But no, I'm not ever. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like content is a bottleneck for me. Like I just don't know. And also, I kind of feel silly. They're like,
No,
hey, could you hold my GoPro while I'm doing this commercial?
hey, it will definitely be worth it in the end. But if you're not like a video
Yeah,
editor or whatever, then I could see where you're like,
right.
hey, if I just record myself, this isn't gonna look good for an ad.
Yeah,
Even though I'm sure it probably would still be good because it's authentic, right? But
right.
would you'd be willing to record that content if, let's say, we could? Because that's something that we do is we do the video editing and the graphic design for the ads. And
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
would you be willing to record? Would you be willing to record the videos if we were willing to edit it professionally? Because I'm confident that when you record it and then after when it's edited, you'll feel pretty badass once you see the final result.
Yeah.
Just because like I get it. Like man, like I've honestly been recording content for 7 years, but I can relate to where you're at because 7 years ago when I started, I felt so weird.
Right. 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 Right.
You know.
We'll also script that out for you too, like give you, scripts so that you know exactly
Okay.
what to say on there, and
Yeah.
like catered to who we want to target, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's definitely something that, I would be interested in. And, it's not, I don't have a particular aversion to doing it. It's just that
Mhm.
I don't have the systems or the ability to really do it. But, I mean, my wife always offers to, she's like a pet influencer and has a somewhat viral Instagram page. So she's good at creating content. It's just, now I've thought about having her come out and, helping me stage shots and,
You
be
should.
a third party that could be there to actually do the recording and scripting or whatever.
Man, if your wife does that, I mean, we
Yeah.
do a really
I
great
just don't.
job. But if your wife does that, you kind of gotta, you gotta get your wife, especially if she mentioned it, you definitely should rock with it. If she made the petfluencer go viral, then she could definitely make you go viral because there's like, there's so many keyboard warriors out there who will be like, they'll love to give her a little.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I would, but she's like, it's like funny stuff or like, this is my dog that we rescued, and it was so sad the way people treated him, but he has a loving family, and that sort of stuff.
Oh,
I don't know that it would translate directly into construction, but
fair.
certainly she is somewhat of an. But anyway, no, yeah, I would be willing to, I mean, and all of this is dependent on, the pricing and all of that. But yeah, it's something that I'd certainly be open to.
Yeah. So yeah, Ash, would you want to go over the packages? Um,
Yeah, for sure.
it definitely like just looking at the website and like looking at the whole structure. Obviously, yeah, I'll let you share the packages, Ash, but I'm kind of thinking the essentials would probably be because have you worked with a professional firm like us before or in the past at all?
No, I haven't. I think maybe a year or two ago, I had requested more information with Contractor Growth Network, CGN,
Okay, yeah.
and I at that point wasn't in a place revenue wise or anything wise to pursue it. So I just didn't, and I get like calls and texts from them like once a month. But no, I haven't. I have not signed up with anyone before.
Okay. Then yeah, Ash, I'll let you explain the packages, but I think the essentials package would the probably be like the most one based on your needs because we dial in essentially what it says essentials, your website, your Google My Business, your like make sure your website's actually SEO friendly with all the correct pages, your service area pages. We
Yeah.
meet with you every single week. We do the video editing, graphic design. But Ash, I'll hand that off to you. I'm just getting a call from
Yeah, for sure.
Ricardo here real quick, but I'll be right back.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, so like Nick said, our essentials package gets you all the essentials that you need to, to build this engine, so you can start generating the leads that you're after. Get that would include your meta ad setup and management, video scripting and editing, all the ideology on that, and then how that, like Nick said, is getting you on camera so that we can build out that that trust and authority in your area, so that you're
Yeah.
getting in front of the people in your area, geo map it out so that it's like we're targeting the right people, and then also with those ads, where we would want to run like 10 to 15 to get the data from that, to know exactly what's working and what's not, which ones are gaining traction, which ones are attracting the right leads. And then we can, like we cater it all around what your ideal customer persona is. Because I'm sure over, the last 20 years, you've worked with a handful of customers that you wish everybody could be like that. No
Absolutely.
no change orders. They had everything in place, everything ready, and it just went smooth from start to finish. So we would figure out what that ideal customer persona is and cater everything around that. Like all the marketing would be catered around getting in front of that ideal customer persona. And then with those meta ads also, we would attach a lead form to that, so that there's some call to action in there with conditional logic in there, so that we can qualify and disqualify the leads as they fill out the form, based off of things like, do they have the land? Do they have, the financing ready? What's based off your minimum size project that you want to attract? So that we can weed out those tire kickers. So you don't have guys asking, hey, can you come fix my fence board or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Hang some shelves for me.
Exactly. So so keying in, getting real specific so that we're attracting the right leads to fill your pipeline, so that you can essentially just have that, consistent growth and, scaling. Have your pipeline full so you can pick and choose the jobs that you're wanting to work on at whatever time. And then building out that CRM is huge, so that you have somewhere for all these leads to live, essentially. Funnel in there, and then we can build out the automations so that you can stay in front of them from start to finish. Like within
that sounds great.
Yeah, so you don't have to be a full-time salesman. As they come in, as they fill out the form, within 5 minutes, they get an email saying, hey, this is Kevin with Cat's Construction. I just sent you an email. Here's some information, just basically in the email, just being the guide in the story, because we strongly believe in Robert Miller's story brand. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that concept, but
no, I'm not.
It would be like placing you, the builder, as the guide in the story, and the homeowner as the main character, so that you're just framing it all out, gently guiding them through the process to the sign deal, essentially.
Yeah, it's been a big thing for me. Where I listen to like Modern Craftsman podcast, and I see like Tom Reber, like the contractor fight guys. They're always talking about like leading the customer and directing them to be a fit for you versus, instead of vice versa. And I have just not I'm pretty good at selling stuff, but I still feel like I'm at the whim and the will of the customer, and I'm always bending over backwards. And I think that has to do with like the initial contact and qualifying the leads early on, and everything you were saying.
Yeah. So we send out that email with the automation, within 5 minutes of the lead coming in, and then 3 minutes after that, a text message going out, and that's the one where it says, hey, this is Kevin with Cat's Construction. I just sent you an email. I want to make sure that landed in your inbox, making it feel as human as possible, and then attaching a booking link to that, so that they can just click the booking link, book a consultation with you, and then you just have to show up for those meetings to just, further qualify them a little more. And then move them in the CRM, whichever
Yeah.
pipeline they fall into, like, future deal, contract signed, just, and then
Absolutely.
they're all in front of you that way. And then, all your leads aren't just scattered everywhere in your, in your inbox or, on spreadsheets, or just to keep everything organized.
That is currently how it's working. Just a mishmash of stuff that I forget. And oh my God, I didn't get back to this person and this person. Yeah, so all sounds great.
So then also you get graphic design hours with that essentials package. So if you want business cards made up, you want to wrap your vehicle, anything like that, we can help you design all that. The only thing we don't have is a print shop. So we would send those designs off to your local print shop, have them made up that way.
Okay.
And
then pretty branded already, but not stuff can change. Do stuff
if you ever want to change anything up, or you want to, want anything else designed, we can help with that. And those hours stack up too if you don't use them, so they stack every month.
Okay.
And then you get a dedicated account manager with all this, so that you have a direct line of contact with the account manager, and then he has a direct line with the whole team of us. There's 33 of us on the team now, so we can make sure everything is dialed in 100%. And then we would set up a group chat on WhatsApp as well, so that as you have ideas, you can fire them off anytime. As if they're, you have an idea in your head, you want to change something, you can just send it in the WhatsApp group chat, and then we can stay on top of it that way as well.
Cool.
And then, like Nick said, we would want to go in. It's not in this package, but we would want to go in and optimize your website as well. Make sure that everything's structured properly. I would throw that in there, just because that's essential. Honestly, just make sure that's all dialed in.
Okay.
Yeah. And then our next package up is the growth package. That's more SEO. It includes everything in that essentials package, plus SEO and AEO. So that's if you want to come out on the top of the searches in your area. When people ask ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, top custom home builders in your area, you want to come out on the top of those searches and really dominate. That's where the growth package comes in, which is honestly our most popular one that we do sell, and we have current clients on, is this growth package. But honestly, like Nick said, I would probably point you more towards the essentials package, just based off of what you've got, what you got going on. And then down the road, if you want to really dominate in your area, you want to come out on top of all your competitors, then you could look at something like that growth package. But to start off, building out all the essentials, I think, would be the first step.
Okay.
And then, that runs that's $1,800 a month is what that costs for us to run all of this. Okay. And then what's not included is your ad spend, which we would probably suggest being around $1,000 for the first month or two, so that we can get that data we need to figure out what's working, what's not, which ads are gaining traction, which ones are attracting the right leads, and we can figure out what your cost per lead is and dial that in so that it's at a good number. We can figure out what your cost per lead is, how many leads to get a set appointment, how many set appointments to get a closed deal, and then we can reverse engineer that so that we know exactly where your ad spend needs to be based on your goals.
Okay. And then my question would be, is there a like a contractually obligated amount of months or time that I would need to sign up for? A, and B, do you guys, from experience, have an idea of like is it possible to do this for 3 to 6 months initially, so you guys can get the metrics you're looking for and see if I'm getting results. And if not, then, pull back, or if it is going well, then decide to continue doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. We do offer all these packages in two different ways. We can either do it on a yearly contract with no setup fee, or we offer a month to month with a setup fee. So that first month it's $1,800 a month for the essentials, and then the first month it would be an additional $1,800 for the setup fee, just to cover all the front end work.
Yeah.
But it's a month to month contract, so it's just 30 days. If give us 30 days notice if you're wanting to out. But everything that we build out is 100% your property. So if at any point anything you decide to walk away or whatever, then you get everything we've built out, we hand over to you.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my next question. So, okay, good. Well, that sounds good.
Does it sound like something you might be interested in here, Kevin?
It is. The only thing two things is that I'm going to be pulling up to my next meeting here shortly, so I don't have a huge amount of additional time. But the other thing I was going to say is, do you guys have some examples of other builders, like websites or, testimonials or stories or something that I could look at just to help me make my decision?
Definitely. I will put together an information package to better give you some better understanding on what we do and help you better evaluate us.
Yeah.
And then I can also put this in writing for that essentials package, so you can look through exactly what's in there.
That would be great. Yeah.
And then if you want, I can set up a follow-up meeting for after you've had some time to have a look through it, and then we can go over that proposal together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So yeah, if you could send that stuff over at your convenience, and then maybe if we could set up a follow-up for I don't know what your guys' schedule is like, but I don't know, maybe Tuesday or something.
Monday or Tuesday works. We got lots of openings. What does this time work best for you?
This time is, the way my days go is the mornings are always crazy. Okay. And then midday is kind of a crapshoot. I could just be doing what I'm doing now, where I'm driving between sites or meetings. And then the end of the day is usually also crazy. So yeah, I would say, let's shoot for, 1 o'clock is good.
Okay. Are you on Eastern time?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so 12 Central.
One thing too, Ash, if you'll send all that over, that'll be cool. But then from now until, let's say, Tuesday, one thing I can do is I can pull an actual report that pulls us the data from how many searches are in your actual area. We can compare who's actually ahead of us, how many searches there are, and that way you have I don't know, I can break it down into full detail for you. And then I can also just share my screen and we can go through. We have all the paid programs to see what's going on, if that makes sense. So I can share my screen with you and show you what your market looks like on the online space too. And I'll try to make a nice little report for you with that data that I find. And then I'll also do some screen sharing just to really show you how it works and what the process really is. But I'll try to pull together that report by Tuesday. What is it? It's Thursday right now. So I can definitely create that for you because I want to make sure it's detailed and accurate. So obviously I want to earn your business, but I want to make it so good that you could take that and be like, okay, this is exactly where I am. And these are areas I got to you know what I mean? It gives us a huge, kind of you know what I mean? It's hard to visualize things sometimes. So hopefully it'll visualize kind of where we are and the actual opportunity that is in front of us too. So I think that would be sweet.
You still there, Kevin? Oh, did I lose you? You still there, Nick?
I'm here, yep.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
I'm here. Hey, hear me? Yeah. Got out there. I was saying that would be amazing if you could do that because that would help me sort of understand what you guys do, and all of this is pretty foreign to me. So it's hard for me to actually wrap my mind around committing that amount of money to doing this stuff, even though I know in theory it's what I need and it would be helpful and that's what needs to happen. Just so I could see, where the problem areas are, what we do to fix that, and what all those next steps are. That would be awesome.
100%. I'll get that created, and I'll have that ready for us on our meeting on Tuesday. So that'll be dialed in, and then yeah, I'll even shoot that to you before. You know what? I'll try to aim to
Okay.
shoot that to you before Friday, and that way you can actually review it over the weekend, and you can really come to a good conclusion. Because if I give it to you on Tuesday, you know what I mean? Then you don't have enough time to look at it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be perfect. And I'm going to try to be in front of either bring my iPad with me or not be driving for our Tuesday meeting and just be on the computer there. So
Yeah,
that
that would be.
all sounds
That sounds like a plan.
good.
Let's
I
go.
just
Tap in
have
here and say hi. So
right on.
try not to crash the car here.
I just
Yeah.
have one question for you here, Kevin.
Yeah.
What is more appealing to you, the yearly or the month, as far as for a proposal to send out?
Is the setup fee every month or just
No,
that
no.
first month?
Just for the first month, yeah.
So the yearly, is there a price break for purchasing a yearly, or is it just the total minus the 1,800 setup fee?
It's all billed month to month, so it's 1,800 a month regardless for either way.
Okay.
Just the month to month has a setup fee. That's the difference.
I got you. Well, I honestly don't know. I'd have to look at everything, and I mean, now, it makes sense to do the yearly. I just need some time to think about it. But I would err on the side of saying monthly for right now, just because
Okay.
I haven't done it yet ever before, and committing to that amount of money for something. But who knows? I look at everything, and I want to move forward. Maybe I'll just sign up for the yearly.
Okay. No, that gives me a good idea where to go with this. So that is perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. And don't be afraid to ask any questions, Kevin. This first
Okay.
time doing this, whether it's about running ads, whether it's about your website, about how you rank.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like we're really like, we really want to help in the maximum way we can. Like there's platforms you can use like Manus that can help save you time with your inbox. There's a bunch of things that we can help put you in the right direction. But at the end of the day, Kevin, I want you to make the decision because you're confident, and I want you to feel clear. So I guess what I'm saying is that ask any questions that you feel unclear with, and I won't get offended.
Okay.
Ask me anything because it's important. You know what I mean? Like you're investing in getting your next customers, investing in getting known, investing in representing yourself at the highest level. Well, it's important that you also you just like any other decision you'd make, you analyze everything and you make sure everything's clear. And so I just want to, because I'm confident there's still more questions, and so when we meet Tuesday, line up all your questions, and I'll do my best to get you the answer on all of them. And I'll also, if you're on your computer, I'll be able to share my screen, and rather than just talking about it, I'll actually be able to show you what's going on. You know what I mean?
Great. Yeah, that would be great. I don't even know what I don't know I don't even know what questions to ask really at this point. So I'm going to try and compile a list of everything that I don't know and that I have questions about in preparation for Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right on. Well, Kevin, we don't want to be the reason you get a texting and driving ticket, though, man.
Appreciate it. I'm keeping the phone low.
Let's go. Yeah, that's the right thing. So cool. Well, man, I hope you have a safe journey, and I really look forward to meeting with you on Tuesday. And I'm excited to build this report for you because, the numbers don't lie. People do. That's the saying, right? So I'm excited to show you the real numbers and exactly what it breaks down to. So.
Sounds good. Yep. I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you guys.
Right on.
Very nice
Thanks,
to meet
man.
you.
Nice to
Thanks,
meet you.
Kevin.
Also.
Yep.
Thanks.
See ya.